Hitting at your max contact point yields several key advantages over your blockers and diggers, as described in the previous lesson on the importance of hitting high, flat, and deep. In this lesson, we'll cover how to determine and consistently hit at your max contact point. We will start by determining your max contact point. You'll need to measure out something that's accessible around the height you believe you can touch. I knew it was around 10 feet, the height of a regulation basketball rim. I used my ease trough, which measured 10 foot 5 inches. My career max was 11 foot 5, which was 20 years ago. Sadly, it's come down quite a bit over the years. Make sure you get a good warm up before your attempt. Also, as you're going through it, be sure to keep your eye on the max contact that you're reaching for and not on the ground. I had a couple of divots in my grass that I had to avoid. My wife Courtney was nearby and advised me that I was about 4 inches short of my target of 10 foot 5, making my spike touch 10 foot 1 inch. Of course, you can improve on your max touch by working on your strength and technique, which we'll cover in later videos. Next, we'll look at how to hit at my max contact point. Of course, there are several variances to consider from set to set, but for all intensive purposes, we'll just work off of my spike touch of 10 foot 1. I use this video for the camera angle as there's no access to Jim for filming at the moment. Essentially, I need to determine which lane the ball will be in at my max contact point. It's important to reference the set along its flight relative to the net and the top of the antenna, which is 8 foot and 10 foot 8 respectively. Let's say generally there are 3 lanes I can get to within the time I have when the ball is set. I need to identify which lane the ball will be in at 10 foot 1, then time my approach accordingly. If it's the inside lane, I'll likely have to go in a bit sooner and take a very long stride off my left foot and leg. If it's the outside lane, I can wait a touch longer and attack it normally. And here lies why flat tempo sets are so crucial in high-level competition. It essentially enables an outside attacker to hit in different lanes without significantly jeopardizing their contact point. A high arching set will be at 10 foot 1 inside a smaller lateral window versus a flat set which would have a bigger lateral window. To work on hitting at your max contact point, I suggest practicing in a hitting line, where you'll start in a ready to approach position and you don't need to worry about releasing and preparing to hit. Here are several sequential cues to reference. 1. Get into your starting ready to approach position ASAP, prior to the setter receiving the pass into their hands. 2. Identify the spin of the ball as soon as possible, once it leaves the setter's hands. On the ball's lateral flight from the setter, reference the ball's height relative to the height of the net, which is 8 foot in my case. 3. 90% of hitters leave too early. Wait half the lateral flight prior to approaching. Late and fast is your objective, giving you more time to read the set and more momentum to jump. 4. If the set is dying, you must change your angle into the court and get it at your max contact point. Well, there you have it. We covered the broad strokes of how to determine and hit at your max contact point. I hope you found the lesson useful. As I mentioned, I'll be covering jump strength and technique training in later videos, and also the importance of hitting flat and tempo outside sets. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon.